There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true.
Yo, folks. Welcome to the latest and the greatest from the Yonkō Table. That is the voice of GrandMasterHoop you're hearing. And yes, we're coming at you this night to talk about the epic finale for Moon Knight. That's right. We have reached the finale of Moon Knight. And boy, oh boy, we got a lot to dissect here with Moon Knight. Again, some people find this to be the best Marvel TV series project. Some find it to be meh. But here, we are here at the Yonkō Table going to discuss it. But with me, as always, is DrJaceAttorney, fellow Yonkō. DrJaceAttorney, how do you feel just briefly about the epic finale of Moon Knight?
Why do you keep saying it like that?
It's Moon
Knight.
Can't help it.
I understand. There's a lot to dissect with this finale. Just to keep it brief, I feel like it delivered, and I think we need a good helping of copium to understand that this is the best Disney MCU show so far. I think that's what we got to accept. This is reality, but we'll dissect it at the table for sure.
Without a doubt, we're going to carve this pig up like a freaking luau. Sure. But hey, we're never alone, Dr. Jason and I, on these dissections. I guess that's the running theme here. Let's hear what Supernovas are going to join us to be talking about Moon Knight. All right, here we go. As Dr. J so eloquently said, I think it's arguably Moon Knight is, if not the best, or if not the one of the best MCU shows today. And I'm including the Netflix shows in that conversation too.
Brave.
Well, I'm just that's
so brave, so stunning.
It is, because I honestly always held Daredevil as the top any MCU related.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen,
Iron Fist.
Let's not get into muddy waters.
Season 1 specifically.
Season 1.
Enough. How about the back half of season 1 of Luke Cage? You want to talk about trash? But that's the thing. And that's the thing about Moon Knight. I would argue from start to finish, this is one cohesive story that gives you, just enough. And again, you can say they didn't give you enough in certain episodes. And I think that's the point, because when you have an emotional episode like episode 5, then you have just a really fast-paced episode in episode 6. And I think it culminated greatly. And then, the big thing for me, I like how it's in its own world. We know it's in the MCU. However, it doesn't.
Most of us know it's in the MCU.
How
We don't need any other.
Tell me. I have
Listen,
no proof.
there is a scene. Are you an Egyptian superhero? So superheroes exist.
Yeah, okay. They can probably different multi.
We did not see Baby Groot make a joke in this episode. Therefore, it cannot be in the MCU.
Right. But that's my take. If you agree, sound off. If you disagree, please, now's the time to be heard. But from start to finish, perfect.
I think the key word with this is consistency.
Yes.
These other Marvel shows, despite what we may think about them, they have fumbled the ball at least maybe once or twice in their runs. I mean, just quickly going through them. Loki was mid until the ending. The ending slapped. I will never forget the first 5 weeks of watching Loki and being, oh my God, where is this going? But then episode 6 comes. Oh Lord, we were nerdgasming the entire day at the Yonkō Table. It was fantastic. Falcon and Soldier Boy, man, that show. It was great setup, great mid-season finale thing. But then when they got to the season finale, they fumbled, flopped, rushed. Ew, gross, disgusting. WandaVision. This is the stickler because a lot of people like to put up WandaVision as the best show.
I'm listening.
And the reality is, Moon Knight is better. The reason why. The reason why. Consistency.
That's cute. Okay, that's a cute little opinion.
WandaVision did not have its hooks in until episode 3, I think. That was like episode 3. The hooks. The hook was when you realized in WandaVision that everything was not real, and you're like, oh, okay, there's clearly something amiss.
Moon Knight did something like that though. I mean, it felt the same. Like I didn't know what was going on. I was like very confused on the dual personality. So,
but you're engaged. You're engaged.
I was
in
engaged
the mystery.
to WandaVision. It was good. I was like sitcom.
Like, listen, all right, WandaVision started off pretty strong with the first 2. It's hard to get something so nostalgic of the 50s and 60s and make it somewhat interesting for modern day people to enjoy. We were like at our toes, we're like, what's going on? Like, Wanda, can you hear me? Like in that black and white, picture, we were like coming up with theories. We're like, Wanda, she's being held captive. And then it wasn't until the very end, that plot twist, she wasn't the one being held captive. She's the one who's captivating people. Capturing people, captivating people. Either way, WandaVision was great because it kept you on your toes, and it was the first Disney Plus Marvel series, and I think that WandaVision still takes the cake. For me, I think Moon Knight been mid until the season finale.
I think they're just the same. I think they did the exact same thing, if you ask me. Like, as far as like the very beginning, I had no idea what was going on in Moon Knight. I said, what does this have to do with Marvel? Like, when you think about like, what does this have to do with the superhero world? But WandaVision did the exact same thing. Why does sitcoms have anything to do with the superhero world? I don't know. But that's what made you like keep watching. So I think they both did the same thing in a way. And their endings were both very like, oh my God, at the same time. So I don't know.
But Wanda was already introduced in the movie, so we already know that she is tied into the MCU verse, or like
I would say, what was what did the sitcom like alone, like what did that have to do with anything?
Pull up, they were like, huh, what is this? Like, what's going on?
Let's not retread too many WandaVision steps. I will say this.
Let's get back to Moon Knight.
Well, real quick, to one point Darce made was that you said it wasn't till the end of WandaVision that it all kind of makes sense. You said that, and I held on to that through through Comic Chris's point.
And that there was a plot twist.
No. What I'm saying is this: it is 1 and 2 episodes. 1 and 2 of WandaVision are quite difficult to get through because you're like, what is going on? The difference between WandaVision and Moon Knight, you're asking what is going on, but it's still within the confines of this linear story. For example, WandaVision really is just Wanda. It's one show, and then Monica comes through and says, Wanda, wake up. And she's like, get out of here. And she blasts her through. And that's when you're like, oh, it's a show within a show. Moon Knight has
Episode 3.
Episode 3, right. Episode 3. Yes. Moon Knight has just been a show through and through. You may not know what's going on, but it's through and through. WandaVision was like this, 2 shows running like this, and then Monica said, break through.
Layer.
Break through.
Layers.
Break through.
This is no onion.
This is, I mean, it's something. It's something.
Very banana-like.
Yeah, we as something you could peel a banana.
Something you could peel a banana.
Let's peel back this finale. Now, say what you want about which is the best show. Can we all agree this was a great finale?
Yeah,
like,
Easily.
When it comes to finales, I think this was one of the better ones that Marvel's produced, for sure.
Right.
This is one of their shortest episodes too, which that was our main fear going in. 40 minutes to wrap everything up. How?
You're like, there's a lot of loose ends they gotta cover, and oh my gosh, they did it. Like
they did.
They used every minute very perfectly. Like they didn't waste a single second. Like I didn't feel like there was a moment where in this finale I was like, did we need to see that, or was this important? I feel like the last few episodes may have been like that. Like I feel like if you looked away from this episode, you are not gonna understand. Like it just wasn't gonna make all much sense. Like it just was jam packed with events the entire time, like from the start of the episode all the way to the end.
Right.
See, there were a couple points where I not cringe, but I was like, man, I really wish they dived into it just a little bit more. Like when they were fighting the other gods, when he blacked out, when there's a couple scenes that I'm like, no, give me more, don't come back, you know?
I will say that scene where Arthur comes into the pyramid, and then he one shots all the gods at once. I was like, okay, I get, but then I try to rationalize it like, well, I guess he has that staff that's supposed to be busted, I guess. I'm like, okay, but it was still, I agree, it was a missed opportunity. I think if they gave it another 5-10 minutes, maybe we could have gotten a cool little fight scene between Arthur and the avatars of the other gods. That would have been nice.
Or they should have told us that the other gods weren't fighters. Like I was expecting this really intense moment when they pulled up. He was like, you're just judges, and I'm like, okay, and then he actually beats them. I'm like, wait, so they really don't fight? Okay.
which is interesting because Towerette was like, ooh, you could be my avatar, and I have the perfect costume in mind.
Towerette, what the?
Towerette was ready to go. She was ready to go.
Yeah, let's go fight up some baddies right now, baby. Really, out of all of the gods, she has the one with the coolest costume right now.
Yeah. I think honestly that was a highlighted moment of the episode. Watching Layla get suited up. One, also two, shout out to Layla.
Thank you. You have to give her mad props. She came in there kicking ass.
Well, I'm not. Before she even came in and kicked ass, she stood up to Khonshu and she's like, "No, I'm not gonna be your avatar. You're a liar. You're deceitful.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Are you serious? Right? Yeah. She stuck it to a god. That takes some balls to be like, hey, Mr. Omnipotent Power, fuck you.
I mean, technically, she's been around him for a while now, so I mean, she should have some type of guts.
They should have a lot of interactions between each other because she knew him before, before the whole Stephen Grant was resurfacing a little bit, right?
Oh, right. She's summon the suit,
Mark.
right?
Yeah, she knew
summon
the suit and everything. So
that was neat. I did enjoy that. How did y'all think about that fight scene? Just that entire five. Well, how long was it? 10 minutes? 10 minutes?
We're talking about when they get hit the streets of Cairo.
They hit the streets to Cairo. Yeah, right.
Okay. Yes. I mean, everybody's over here yo, where did Steven get all this badassery from? But I'm like, go ahead, Steven.
Yeah.
He's always had it. They're the same person.
He's always had it. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I thought it was a great sequence. Her
choreography, using that suit, and just whooping through the air. I thought she did a freaking fantastic job.
The wings might be better than Falcons.
I agree. I agree.
Oh, okay. Actually, that was the first. I was wondering, I feel like I've seen this before. Who does this?
I didn't think about it. Wait, what do you think?
I was saying the way that she used them was just so much cooler because they're a little bit smaller and more nimble. So she can block stuff and be defensive.
I thought it was a bad choice in design. The wings.
The wings were badly designed.
Yeah, her right now your picture, AJ, her holding the this it just looks weird, it just, I don't know, something about it it's just.
Well, see, right here, I couldn't tell if she was like holding a sword and then the wings are extending at the same time that she's putting her arms to the side, or if the part that she's grabbing is attached to the wings.
It's like the swords are
handle?
attached. The swords are attached, detachable from the wings.
Okay.
Because she uses those swords. She uses them.
Yeah,
Right.
They don't look. It doesn't look like a convenient outfit.
There was a BS scene, and again, I love this episode. I loved it, but you already know there was a BS scene where this guy 2 feet in front of Layla, point blank, pew 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 pew. They're shooting the bulletproof part, and I'm like, shoot her in the head.
Oh my gosh!
Shoot her in an exposed area. Why are you shooting her wings? You're in front of her. I don't know. It was silly. It was
very awkward. That's what made me. I think that was one of the moments I was like, "Yo, that outfit's pretty whack." I'm not gonna lie.
That's why I was like, okay, maybe if the wings were larger, like
or
maybe
no
a
wings.
shield. I don't know.
Listen,
Or no wings.
Well, again, if it's based on Tower, I mean, she's a hippo. I wasn't expecting wings, but maybe some hippo hands. I don't know. Like,
Hippo hands.
instead of Hulk hands is hippo hands, and I don't know. The more I look at it, it does remind me of like the Egyptian royalty. They kind of. If you look at the like old hieroglyphics, that's kind of the vibe it gives. And again, this is Towerette's first time around. I don't think she's had an avatar before. So, in the future, if we see Layla again, maybe we'll see a different suit. Maybe she'll take more pointers from like Khonshu and whatnot. But we're here talking about the gods and whatnot. Yes. Those other Egyptian gods really didn't serve any purpose. It kind of makes them just look super weak. But
things because like they have like some pretty like powerful god. Like I think one of them was like Osiris, Anubis, Ra. Like these are like legitimate gods,
Well, there's the gods that were still locked up, and again, they didn't really give character to which gods were which, so we don't even know. It was almost like they're just fodder at this point. But
yeah.
Amit, I think. How would you feel about the reveal of Amit? I thought I think the CGI looks kind of good. Yes, it's CGI, but I was definitely like I felt like they needed to look a certain CGI to look as if they're gods, and I think it worked.
This is a lady with a crocodile head. And
no CGI crocodile stuff. It never looks that great. Like, think about it.
It's like, what else are you gonna like? I expected it, The same with Khonshu. Khonshu is like a skull beak from a bird or something. I don't know.
Great.
He looks great.
He look great. Like,
yeah, I think like especially since it's at night, you don't really see all of the faults you might see when it's like during the day. Because I feel like we noticed a lot of the wonky Khonshu CGI in the earlier episodes that took place during the day. Since it's at night, it could kind of cut corners a little bit, and it just looks better. And here, because I know we sometimes go back to like, oh my god, the CG fight scene in Black Panther. What was that? But it's like those are real people that they could have choreographed something with minimal CGI implemented. Here, crocodile head, bird head. You have to.
Well, cool enough. These are mocap. These are mocap.
Oh, they were mocap.
Yeah, they're mocap, and that's why maybe I thought the kaiju fight, I call it, because now they're just freaking tall. And
how did Khonshu get big?
Yeah, when did that happen?
When did it happen, or how did it happen?
No, it happened during when Lady Amit got large.
Right,
like after that, yeah.
She sucked up souls to get large.
Right.
And I remember you questioned, why did Khonshu get large? Hello, what moon cycle were we on? He's the god of what?
God.
Was it a full? Oh, it was.
Yes,
it
was a
full moon. Oh,
it was a full moon.
Did they establish that though? Like,
oh, come on, put it together.
When he jumped up,
they didn't establish it in the TV show, but I mean, it is a big thing in the comics. He gets his power from the moon, and every phase gives him a different type of power.
They allude to it when Moon Knight jumps up like when Steven switches to Mark and he jumps up, they like allude to that, like, oh, like you forget who I am, and like literally, like,
that's right,
yeah,
that's
like,
right. You're
that
right,
entire
right.
scene,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I that's what I was assuming.
Right.
You know, but,
Okay.
yeah.
I think it's safe to assume that. I mean,
Yeah.
That's fine. I remember that was the big question mark. Like, how is he getting big? But okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense.
did you like the parallel, like during that cool like fight number? Anytime like Arthur was getting the upper hand, Amit was getting the upper hand on Khonshu. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yes. Shrek 2 vibes.
Oh,
Oh
yes,
my
yes,
God.
yes.
Shrek
yes,
2.
yes.
Oh my.
We all know the scene.
Oh,
We all
God,
I need a
yeah.
hero, baby.
Yeah, go check out our TikTok.
Oh my God.
It was solid. I enjoyed it. But no, like it I like the parallels with that because you see Khonshu struggling with Amit. And of course you see Arthur struggling against a 2v1 with Layla and Steven. Actually, I guess kind of like a 3v. I liked how he interchanged between both Mark and
Yes,
Steven.
yes.
That was awesome.
Synchronicity.
And-
Growth.
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 Was
It's
it a
beautiful. Oh my gosh.
technically it was a 4v1.
We're not gonna go there yet.
I guess at the end, but
No,
for
that's-
now it was 3v1.
No, that's the equivalent of, oh my gosh, I don't know.
Are you gonna say Naruto?
Someone coming in with like the gravity hammer and everybody's just in one spot, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of
Like
a
an alley-oop, like an alley-oop.
I wasn't a huge fan of that part though. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's just like it was just okay, cool. Like that's easy for the plot for it to move forward. You know, like he's losing and then all of a sudden blacks out. Boom! Everybody's on the floor dead.
Well-
Arthur dead.
Well, that's the thing. I think that the beauty of that scene is that when we watch episode 1 in the Alps, that scene, right? He's driving the truck and he's blacking out the whole time. We always thought he was flashing back to Mark, you know, and Mark was handling those guys. Only once did we realize maybe it wasn't Mark. That was on the rooftop in like episode 3 where he stabbed that dude, you know.
Right.
But here I think it's good because it just relays back to those previous scenes, and now they both understand that it's neither one of them, but at the same time they are so focused on the task that when they are done they forget about it again and they don't worry about it. And I think Khonshu says it perfectly at the end of the episode where he's like, you know, Mark doesn't know how broken he is, you know, and that's beauty. I think that's beautiful. I mean, cinema. That's cinema, man.
This is cinema.
That's cinema, man. It's just like they're so caught up in, you know, the fact that and here we haven't even talked about the relationship between Steven and Mark and how much they've grown.
Beautiful.
You know,
their
right.
moment.
Can we talk about that?
Moment
He's
of
like-
silence, because wow, like, and I already just thought like Oscar was doing amazing as it was, and he literally like just put the cherry on the top. Like the moment he got on the floor and was like, Steven, I was like, yo, like he's playing this so well. Like
Beautiful.
Like, this acting is just like off crazy.
This man rejected eternal paradise for eternity, right? That's what it means. Eternal.
Eternal, right?
He rejected that because Steven was the one that sacrificed himself so that he could gain that eternal happiness. And Mark is like, no, Steven, RIP to us both, baby. And
Right.
how did the gates open when they did that?
Because, man,
Friendship?
oh God, I don't think it was the power of friendship.
They both melt, and that's what happens. And when they both melt, the gates opened up. That's how I thought the scene was like. They were both frozen, and then true love made them both, or the power of.
I thought the balance. I thought they like finally did the. I felt like the scales finally balanced now. Is that not?
Well, because they
Yes.
came back to life right after that. So I guess there's the connection I'm missing. I don't know if you guys knew about it.
She said you can the only way you can get back to the real world is through Osiris's gates, but you have to be judged again. And you know, it was like Kame says,
well, I mean,
it's the scales.
When she came crashing through, she was like, "Oh, Osiris favors you guys." She was
I don't know why she had a. I mean, I guess the Duat is coming to get them. The Duat was angry. Like,
what when the tsunami sand?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were two souls. They had to get those two souls.
All right. They said you can't leave.
Where are you going?
Where are you
You're
going?
breaking rules.
But the first time they entered the Duat, they were unbalanced, of course, because they're two beings. And although we were getting all that closure, I guess they didn't have that conversation where Mark admits to, Steven, you were my safety and you gave me protection. And
what did he say? He said you were the real hero.
He said you were my superpower.
You were
you were my superpower.
Oh,
right?
come on, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Better than WandaVision.
Grieving.
Stop! You guys are so savvy. This is so dumb.
Oh my God, it was great.
It's just really hard to act against yourself.
Okay, but he did it, and he did a phenomenal job. But I'm sorry, that was just so cheesy to me for him to be like, "You are my superpower," and it's like basically like him talking to himself, saying like, "Oh, I'm my own superpower." Like I don't know. I felt like there would have been more closure to me if he realized that like Steven was like inside of him like all along, or like he didn't need to like depend on Steven in order to like move forward with his life. He didn't need Steven to be that safety net. Like he can be his own person, Like that's what I would have rather seen. I wouldn't have wanted Steven to like die, but like I didn't want Steven to like him to still depend on Steven. You know what I mean?
I don't think he was I don't think that's like not the relationship they're trying to make between the two characters. I think it was more so that's like now because of all the trauma that he went through as like a kid and like having with his mom and like developing the second person. I think it's just to show that, like within yourself, it's about balance and, regardless of all the other things that are going on and regardless of, like how bad your bad side is or how good your good side is or whatever side you have, like just to love yourself regardless and on all aspects. Like I know somebody in the group chat was like going off about this.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like wait, like I think we're reading that relationship a little bit wrong as far as like the whole like they're like two separate entities. I think it's just one person. It's just that's what happened. Like their relationship just kind of blossom and you start to see that it's really just one person, like because they're working together so well.
Well, that's like the irony of it all. And then like of course this is actually like a real thing, dissociative identity disorder. But it was like I wouldn't call it dependency either. As he said, Steven was there for him subconsciously. Steven, lived in the subconscious and he would come out when he needed to protect Mark. And that was the whole thing. But Mark, growing up and realizing that, Steven was there inhabiting his body, was not embracing him and didn't look at Steven as, that guy who did protect me from.
He viewed him as a weakness, a hindrance.
He viewed him as a weakness, right? Because he watched him on the other side and was like, what is this guy doing? He's a bumbling fool and whatnot. And that's the again, dramatic irony. They are the same person. That's why, you got Steven saying, oh, if you got it, that means I got it. But they are still two sides of the same coin. They inhabit two different sides of the brain. And they just never came together. And Mark,
they were unbalanced.
Because Mark,
layers.
Mark was not recognizing all the good Steven had did for him in the past. Not until they had those flashbacks, because Mark was not trying to revisit those memories. And so I think that's why the gate finally opened up, because now they're like the perfect person. They're
Love yourself.
love yourself, right?
Love
Yeah.
yourself.
Embrace all parts of yourself. Embrace your disorder. Yes. Mhm. Which is tricky given the very end of the episode, which we already alluded to. I think we might as well break down the door.
There's an end credit scene.
Finally, jeez
Yeah.
Louise.
When was the last time we got one of those?
The
For,
last
for a
show.
Marvel show. For a Marvel show. Did we? In Hawkeye?
Did we get one in Hawkeye?
I don't think we.
Yes, we did.
Ooh.
Or maybe we did. Maybe that was the Kingpin thing where.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay.
No, Kingpin didn't show up in a post credit.
No, he
No,
did. Like he
Yeah.
was gonna. That Echo shot him. I thought that was the post credit.
No, that was not a post credit. That was in the episode.
That was in the episode. Okay.
Right.
Credit scene on that one was the the show.
Oh, the play. The play.
Boo!
Oh, right. Ew.
Boo!
Right.
Sour
Disappointing.
taste.
Great.
Disappointing.
We've been asking for it for so long during that season, and we got it, but not at the time we wanted it.
Not
No,
in the
sir.
fashion either, but here we are. What Amit is in Arthur.
Right. They
And-
sealed him away.
Right.
They sealed her away inside Arthur.
Right. Put him in a psych ward, what it appears to be. Right.
Yeah, that's what
Yep.
it looks like. Because
Go
Mark
figure.
refused to finish him off to kill.
Yes.
Which I'm sorry, real quick. Was
Yeah,
it implied? Was it implied that if he killed Arthur with Amit inside,
They would
Of
both
him.
die.
meaning Amit would actually die, or she would just need to find another avatar?
No, it
to
was
inhabit?
implied
She
she
would
would
die.
die.
That's why. That's why
Okay.
he was like, kill them now together.
Okay, so does
Okay,
all of the gods that fought Arthur are now dead?
that's
Yeah.
what I'm. They're dead. They're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
think
with that
they're
said, that
gone.
does I don't think that means a god can't come back to life.
I mean, I guess not, but
But then why not imprison her and just keep an eye on her?
Well, they did do that, and it went wrong.
Yeah, she was.
No.
really-
I could.
That's too risky. You might as well just put her in a thing and then lock her up somewhere.
Why would you
We've
lock her
seen-
up? You would want to kill her to end it.
We've
And-
seen that.
but
We've
it-
seen that
Don't
lock
they,
up.
don't they need the other gods to do that, and they don't
Yeah,
have
but-
them anymore?
Well, no, they have. I guess they had that weird chanting thing that,
Well,
that they did at the end.
that was two guys. That was Khonshu and Towerette. So you do
Right.
need some god
and,
power.
and you need the statues because I think it showed the statues of the other gods, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they were in the temple. They were in the temple. Yes.
But if
Right.
that really sucks that all of the gods in that room just died.
I don't think it means they're dead forever because, you know, with the if a mortal like Mark can come back to life, you mean to tell me a god can't? You know?
That
That's
just
like, well, ugh.
back again. That
It's tricky because I feel like I interpret it two ways, right? Either A, you seal Amit inside of Arthur, and if you kill Arthur, you kill both of them for good, like
Yeah.
like impossible to come back. Or he means, okay, we seal him inside, we seal Amit inside Arthur, we kill Arthur, killing Amit, but in the sense that she needs to find someone else to inhabit to come back to life. Like she's
No,
technically
she-
dead, but
She could have found somebody else. She didn't have to stick around.
I think they would have like clarified that, like that specific point, something about it. I think they just would have clarified it a little better because the way they made it seem was since she's inside of him, that's why he was like kill them together. Like that he was implying that
He
they
was
were both
very
gonna
yeah.
die.
He was
Like,
really
I'm
going
just taking
for
it
it.
face value. I'm just taking it face value.
So then by that logic, then those other gods in the room are
dead.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I was just talking about this too. I was like, my critique with Marvel, they keep doing this where like in the shows they have these really crazy moments where you're like, whoa, this is going to mean something later on. This is going to like we're going to see more of this, and it's like this big deal, and then
Then they
all of a
kill
sudden
him.
they kill him off, or like we just don't care about
Yes.
him no more. Like and What If,
Well,
like they do it all the time.
Marvel has a tendency of coming back to those types of moments, though. They'll be like, "Oh, you remember this one scene that you thought was a big deal? Well, guess what? It's a big deal now. Like, here we go." Like the writers are pretty good about doing stuff like that. But I think with all of these gods, though, like I'm pretty sure Bast was one of them that was in the chamber of judges.
I need to go back and watch the trial again. I honestly don't remember who. I'm sure they name dropped a couple. They had to have. I just can't remember who they were.
You can kill Boss, but in the grand scheme of it all, because I was telling someone this too, because I think my coworker made the same comment. If Boss is dead, that doesn't do anything to Black Panther. They get their powers from the herb. They just worship Boss.
The people are probably like really pissed off that their god is now.
They don't know Boss is real.
They just praise the statue.
They just pray to the statue, and then the only people who get to go to the ancestral plane are kings and queens.
I suppose. Yeah.
So they don't actually know.
Would they be considered celestials, or am I like going too far?
We need them to actually come through and say which omnipotent power ranks above the other one. You know.
Yeah. We need power scaling. We need power scaling. That's what we need.
Marvel lore.
You cut off entirely, huh?
Marvel lore, gods are usually bound to a planet.
Oh,
See, I don't want to bring in the comics because obviously they do things that don't.
Yeah, we could go in so many different directions.
Yeah, you can go in circles with that. Yeah.
That planet, like. Okay, like we have the Egyptian gods that are here. Like I think celestials are a little bit bigger than just like certain planets.
I think so too, but I think celestials are up there.
Dude who can barely walk with a cane literally took out a room full of gods. That's your power scale right there.
No, I'm talking about with all powers, celestials, the gods.
Where does Wanda stand? Where does
right?
You know.
We don't have a definitive scale. So right now they're running in circles.
I think we kind of know where these gods fall on the scale.
I mean, if they get in wrecked that easy, maybe, but I'm gonna wait until they give me confirmation. I'm sure. I'm telling you don't just kill off the Egyptian pantheon for them. I don't know. There's a lot more to explore. I think if you want to explore it, give some convoluted way. Oh, gods resurrect every 100 years.
Plot hole, Star Child series. Interesting.
I could point plot holes in WandaVision, but I won't because we're here to talk about Moon
And I don't think it's a plot hole. It doesn't actually stop the plot of the show, you know.
It does not.
It's more of like the dramaturg did not do the research. Right. Like, come on, hey, we should have wrote that in, you know. But
tying back to the post-credit scene.
Now the dude speaking Spanish wheels him in, kicks the wheelchair, and I was like, "Ooh, is that Mark? Is that Mark?"
Yeah, no, I was like, that's definitely Mark and Steven, but not Mark and Steven.
But I was like, that's so aggressive, right?
Yeah, why'd he kick that wheelchair?
Yeah, kick it, you jerk.
It's empty. No one's in. I mean, you should have kicked it if someone's in it, obviously. But
he says, screw accessibility devices. You know,
he took such offense to it. It was so weird.
But more to the Amit being in Arthur and them fearing for their lives. When he sees Khonshu in the car, he says, "You can't touch us," because last time he checked, he released Mark and Steven. Not the case. He says, "Oh, Mark does not know how broken he is inside."
That was pretty close.
That was good.
I'll give you that one. Good. That was close.
Wow.
What is he? He knocks on the window. He's like, "Meet my avatar, Jake Lockley."
Pew pew.
And what does he say in Spanish? What is he?
I don't remember what he said.
Something about he'll shoot or something. He came here to shoot him or something like that. I can't remember.
Hello, and I don't remember.
I don't know.
It was something so like it didn't matter what he said. It was the fact that you're focusing on, oh my God, it's Mark, but not Mark. It's Jake Lockley.
Well, everybody knew Jake Lockley was coming. Everybody knew.
He was there.
I didn't.
Well, okay, no, we didn't. I didn't know.
Did you know there was a third altar?
No, I mean, from watching it, yeah, I was like,
Right.
well, obviously there's somebody else there, but prior to that, no, I didn't like.
There's no way to know unless you
I
read
came
the
into
comics.
this knowing nothing about Moon Knight. Like I knew nothing.
Right,
about
right. I saw Twitter talk about the name, and I didn't look further past the name. I had a coworker who was about to tell me, I was like, stop it.
Yeah, we're great about Scott the whole time. Like, Scotty has to come out.
Oh my god.
That probably
Yeah.
is Scotty.
No, it's not. Drop it.
So
Drop
maybe there's
it.
four. Maybe there's four.
Why would you? What nickname is Scotty to someone whose name
Why
is Jake?
the hell
Jake.
is that security guard call him Scotty?
It's a nickname because he keeps forgetting everything he tells him.
Name.
That's his name.
Listen,
Scotty,
man.
hey, what's up?
It's like
It's actually Steven. It's actually Steven.
Fine. But Jake still asked the coworker on that date.
Wait, did he?
The date. Remember how Mark nor Steven.
Actually, no. Yeah, Steven would not have done that.
Right, because Steven's. I mean, Mark
I'm sorry,
married.
Mark would
Right.
not have done that. Steven doesn't remember. Yeah, that might have been a Jake. Might have
It's
been
a Jake.
thing.
But the thing is, why do they black out? Like, I mean, which is cool because I'm sure that's gonna come later. And but
And
yeah,
why
they
doesn't
both-
Jake communicate with either of them? Why is he shady?
Right.
Yeah, he's shady. Or
Very
or
shady.
he has something going on with Khonshu. Like he has like a separate deal. Like there was a separate event that he is like backup because he seems to be the one that, because like you said in the first episode, when you just see everybody dying, like they're like passing out and then people just end up like blood everywhere. I'm pretty sure that's him, and that's because he has like a separate like deal going on. Like there's something else that he's trying to fulfill, but they are like having their Mark and Steven are having their own little getaway right now, and he's just like, yeah, but I'll be here when you're about to die, though.
We're
And
gonna probably not. They're like, well, we don't want to do anything with like Khonshu, like get us out of this, like
Exactly.
break the contract, but like deep down inside, they really do love being the Moon Knight. So like that's why they created that altar. That's like, no, I'm the liege of the Moon Knight. Like I
That's a good-
love being the Moon Knight.
that's
it
a
could
good
be
theory.
that because how do you call it? Mark and Steven, when Khonshu tells him, "Quick, kill her." I can't do it. You got to do it. Go ahead. Do it.
Do it now. I don't know. I don't know.
But okay, right? That scene. Khonshu's telling him to do it. Mark says, "No, we're not going to." I felt like Khonshu gave in really easily because he knew
Yes,
about the side thing
correct.
with Jake. He's like, "Okay, I don't need Mark to do this. All right, peace out." And then he leaves.
That's the thing is, how long have they been doing this thing where Mark is like, "Oh,
Exactly.
I don't want to be Moon Knight tonight," and he's like, "Okay," like.
I guess ever
Switches
since-
to
I think actually this makes a little bit more sense. Remember when he says that they thought that he wanted Layla to be his next avatar? I'm pretty sure that at whatever event that occurred when Layla, when Mark told Layla that, or Mark like thought that he was talking about Layla, something happened right at that event that Jake was actually the one that he was talking about the entire time. Had nothing to do with Layla. I think that was like a complete distraction. Like now that he said that, all the other earlier stuff makes sense. Like she actually was never supposed to be, and Mark was freaking out about nothing, but it's because he was talking about somebody else.
Oh,
Right.
that's right. Because I think I know what you're talking about. There were a couple times where Khonshu was kind of vague. He's like, "I always have another one," and then
Yeah.
Mark automatically assumed, "No, Layla, no."
because yes, he thinks the only other people he's been around and saw is Layla.
Right,
But no,
right.
that's not.
Oh
That's not
my
the-
god,
right.
it's so good.
Yeah. Yes,
like
yes.
yo.
It's good, Darce. It's good, man. It's good. But I don't know where to next. We have no confirmation of a season 2. It's listed as a mini series. Where do we go from here? Just the adventures of Steven and Mark living their lives, and they wake up and they're like, "What? Dead bodies? What happened?"
Which
know?
Series is gonna be Towerette. The Adventures.
Oh goodness. I mean, it could. You never know. I mean, that's how they kind of did Echo with
That's how they're doing Agatha with WandaVision.
Okay,
that's how they did Agatha
but
with WandaVision.
who wants an Agatha show?
I do.
I think it's
Why?
fine.
To do
Agatha.
what? To do what? To do
That actress is so funny.
Okay, you said it.
She'll carry
Hilarious.
it.
You said
She'll
it. You
carry
said
it.
it. It's a comedy. So if they play up the comedy angle, sure. But I'm just saying, I think Moon Knight did an excellent job to where if they announced a Layla spinoff, I would be so for a Layla
I don't
spinoff.
know.
No.
Too. She kicks ass. Like, like she wouldn't be like a comedy thing. Like she would be her own.
Right.
I guess I would care about what her dad was doing.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
There's mystery about her dad.
There's
like,
still
I
some
think-
right.
Yeah. And I think that will have a lot to do with how she's so like how she all of a sudden has this power now. She's so connected. Like it was like destiny almost. Feels like it's one of those like already set up things that we still don't know about that Jake might have something to do with. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
just making theories up.
No. You're right. Again, Bushman, we don't drop a name and then not show us the person,
Yeah.
Right.
Bushman, the dad, who got name dropped again because Towerette took him to the field of reeds, which is interesting. Oh, I guess it's like what we said. You pick where you want to go. It's like, who do you want to talk to?
Yeah.
Right.
So the dad was
Khan,
like,
he's down there. Make 2 rights and a left.
Right. That is interesting because didn't Towerette say like, "Oh, I haven't done this in centuries." So, who brought him to the afterlife? Because it wasn't
Who brought who?
her dad.
Oh, right. I mean, but the dad don't you have to believe in that actual pantheon or
that's
religion?
what I'm saying. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to believe, right?
And he did go to
Does
the
he
field
not?
of reeds, but Towerette wasn't his host that brought him there.
He
Was
did
it-
go through the field of reeds?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
went to the field of reeds. Towerette brought him to the field of reeds.
Oh, Bushman. No, the
No,
dad.
no. She didn't bring him to the field of reeds. She said she saw him in the field of reeds.
Okay, got it.
He hasn't brought anybody to the field of reeds in a long time. That's why she was going through her notes with Steven and Mark. So I went.
No, I'm pretty sure she said she brought him there because I'm pretty sure that's what she said. But I'll look it up later. But
Interesting.
either way, there are some unchecked things. We don't know. We don't have the confirmation of that whole event. We don't know where they're gonna go next. They leave seeds for a season 2. And I just saw
Or
another.
it could come up again in a Marvel property, a team up.
Yeah.
Any Marvel properties.
Don't need it. That's why they didn't do it.
They
And
didn't
it's
do it.
great.
They didn't do it. They didn't do it. And I honestly thought in a post-credit scene, I was like, okay, maybe that dude pushing Arthur is Blade. I don't know.
Dude, it's Blade. Maybe it's Bruce Banner. He's gonna say, "Time to Hulk up, Arthur."
Have an obsession with Bruce Banner. You bring up the Hulk every time.
No, it's the absurdity. It's the absurdity of who would be the most absurd to come dropping in a Moon Knight series?
Thor.
Thor.
Right.
Are you ready to take off, Arthur? To Asgard.
And he's like, well, Asgard, like the home of the Norse mythology.
There's another pantheon. I had no idea.
And he's like, Steven, can you explain this to me? I don't even know what's going on. It's like, Mark, it's Thor, Odin's son. Like,
see, now I want to see a Layla miniseries. Now that you guys brought it up, now I'm actually an advocate because in the beginning she knew. Remember when Steven was like going through a lot of the things and like they were like talking about like French and like a bunch of other stuff. Like I really want to know what her backstory is with her dad and Mark, because what has she been doing? Like honestly, I know she's been with him, but what exactly were like the things that she was doing with him to make her end up here? Because
you don't bump into like a mercenary group by accident. Like
this doesn't keep happening out of coincidence. Like
what is going on in this mercenary life they used to live?
Yeah, they were looking for the scarab the whole time to try to find the body. That's why they were both on the same mission.
Yeah, but how did it go wrong? What's going on? There's so many unanswered questions. I just read another thing with Oscar, and he specifically said he loves playing Steven, which I find very interesting. And he said if they got a good story, he's definitely coming back, he said.
Oh,
right.
Good.
Whether that's another standalone type of story or, integrated into the greater MCU is up for debate. Yeah, I feel, we've done, did we miss anything? I think we covered all aspects of the episode. Where do we rank it among the other shows, the other series? That's got to be the final topic of tonight.
I know we're all going to be all over the place. We're going to rank certain shows above others. I will just say, for me personally, I think this is the best MCU show so far. I don't know if I could compare it to the likes of like Daredevil season 1 and 3. I don't know yet. I would have to honestly rewatch that. It's been years since I watched those seasons. And to me, those are like the best of the Netflix Marvel shows, those 2 seasons. But in terms of what we've gotten so far, I feel like both on the level of like just consistency, the mystery, the acting, the writing, I feel that Moon Knight has delivered on everything. My biggest worry, and we said it last week, my biggest worry was I was loving Moon Knight to episode 5, but when we learned episode 6 is the finale and it's only 44 minutes, the fear was how are they going to cram all this in? They got so much to tackle, and the Marvel series have had this terrible luck in flopping their finales for the most part. Not all of them, but for the most part. I feel like this finale didn't flop. The action was on point. Even the criticism I had with episode 3, I hated the choreography in episode 3, but the choreography in this, it's like they heard our podcast. I don't know. I'm just saying.
He has liked our tweets. Mohammed Diab.
Quick, the Yonkō Table hates episode 3. We got to reshoot 6. The day. I'm telling you that the entire fight sequence was just amazing. Them jumping back and forth between Mark and Steven. The whole thing with Layla having her own moment. A little bit of cheese here and there, but it's okay. Marvel has cheese. That's fine. But yeah, and the best part, no MCU references. I'm so glad. Except Ancestral Plane. Ancestral Plane, I'll give them that. That's fine because it ties into what is being talked about with the whole mythos and everything. So to me, it's the best. Right below that, I would say WandaVision. WandaVision was at the top before, but now Moon Knight's at the top. WandaVision's right below that. That's just mine. And then the rest are all over the place. I jump back and forth between Falcon and Soldier Boy and Loki. I don't know. But right now, my top 2, Moon Knight, WandaVision. What about you guys?
I mean, those are my top 2.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Pretty much. I think I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch WandaVision like one good time, especially after watching Doctor Strange, just in case I didn't miss anything. Because when I think about it, they're very similar. Like Moon Knight and WandaVision, as far as like antics and just as far as they go with the story and like how it explodes mid story, then at the very last part, like last episodes. I feel like they're about the same. So I don't know. I'm going to like put them like Moon Knight maybe 1, WandaVision maybe 2. But honestly, depending on how this movie is, WandaVision might get bumped up just for some things that may happen. So,
oh gosh,
Good.
Hey, sometimes when something else gets released, you're like, okay, that last movie was a lot better because of the things that we didn't understand at the time. So I'm just saying it could be better, but right now I'm just going to say in this moment, day of time, Moon Knight probably going to sit number 1 for me.
To go off of that, I do understand that sentiment just because I know some people have not liked the last few Spider-Man movies outside of No Way Home, but then when they saw No Way Home, they kind of looked back differently on Far From Home and Homecoming, and it's like, okay, it's more of like an arc, and it makes sense now. He's not just Iron Boy Jr. because people Marvel wants him to be that. He had an arc through all 3 movies, so I can understand why maybe Doctor Strange might make WandaVision a little bit better. But it's understandable.
We'll find out tomorrow.
I'll find out tomorrow.
Darce, where are you sitting with your rank?
So it's definitely not number 1 for me. WandaVision is still definitely up at the top. I don't even know if it's number 2, to be honest with you, because it was a good season finale, but everything else to me was very mid.
What's your number 2?
My number 2, you guys are gonna chastise.
We're ready. Go ahead.
I think number 2, it's. I think it's Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's fine.
I'm okay with that, to be honest.
The one you have to worry about is Dr. Mondo. You say Hawkeye is number 2.
Yeah.
Unnecessary rain.
Right. Oh my gosh.
I'm ready for it.
I don't disagree. I mean, I'm not gonna thrash your opinion. I think Hawkeye was good. I enjoyed Hawkeye. The finale fumbled.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't meant to be taken seriously, and it was like family fun, campy, like lighthearted. I just had a good time watching it, like that's why I ranked it a little bit higher. Like everything else, I was like, okay, this is cool, but Hawkeye for me was just like, okay, I'm enjoying this. I'm not really like dissecting every single thing about it because it's Hawkeye,
I'm gonna say this as far as the Disney Plus series have gone. I think each of them are good in their own right. Mm-hmm. But what really makes them all stand out is that they are all peeling back the layers of these characters that weren't getting shine in the films because they're being outshined by, like Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and whatnot. So they all, I feel every single show has done a great job at giving us more layers and greater performances from those actors. And then just watching them in their own show, being the star, has really made us appreciate them all, despite if the show wasn't all the way good. Okay. However, Moon Knight, what I find great about Moon Knight is this is an introductory show. We get introduced to Moon Knight and Mark and Steven. But out of all the shows, I found Oscar Isaac, he won me over. I had the most fun watching his performance. Like, it's so captivating just to watch him go back and forth between these, these alters and these identities.
Agreed.
Despite the fact we may not know much about Moon Knight, which is also cool too, going into it as a mystery versus, the other shows. We had expectations of what we wanted to see. If you didn't set any expectations for Moon Knight, I think you could come out of it, overtly satisfied. And I would say it's a satisfying experience, whether you found it, like consistent all the way through. I think the one thing everyone can agree is Oscar Isaac's is GOAT status now. And if there's anything to take away, it's that performance right there. And I hope to see him again in future MCU projects, whether they're integrated into the greater or not.
Now you can do MCU tie-in. Now you can do it. And I mean, not a lot of people have heard of Moon Knight too. I think that's a testament to how well they did the series. I mean, they could have picked a very they could have, again.
Web of Shadows?
Web of Shadows on the Wii. That's the only one I've seen him in. No one really knew about this guy. But I think they did a great job. Now you're gonna have like an influx of people wanting Moon Knight toys out at Disney. I feel like, ooh. So
he's already at the Avengers campus in the California Disney.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
As which one, Mark or Steven?
I think both. I think he does both.
He changes in between both?
If they change, it's gotta run. Oh, hello. So I don't think it's that deep.
Okay.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up this?
Yeah, I mean, like one thing that I do have to give credit for Moon Knight for is this is a good show for people who don't really care about Marvel or who like don't really want to rewatch any of the other stuff. Like you said, like it doesn't tie into anything MCU. So if you do want to like kind of like see what all the huff and puff is about, you don't have to watch anything before it, and you can still probably enjoy the show. So I give it that credit.
That's a fair point. You really don't have to have any background knowledge prior.
And I'm not gonna MCU. There's a lot of content for people to watch. So if they have never cared about a superhero show ever or superhero movie, like they have a lot of watching to do in order to kind of understand the full grasp of some of these other Marvel properties. But this one, it's a standalone, and I will give it that credit because I know DrJaceAttorney is loving me for saying this, but I'll give it that credit that it does not tie into anything.
Yes.
I feel like there's a flip though to that. I feel like that's a good thing that it doesn't tie to the MCU, but I feel like at the same time, after everything we've invested into the MCU, you're just not going to do anything with it. Not a glimpse, not Iron Man hand, like not a helmet, like not, you know.
Do you need a lawyer, Mark? I can help you out.
Like,
It was for them.
Like I feel like some people, I did see some opposing opinions about it on Twitter, and just I guess they don't say this, but you can see that people are just a bit like, it's not that good, only because we've invested so much in everything that they do. Marvel has been about the MCU, so this is like why now? Like what? Like there's no way, you know. So it's kind of like a frustrating, you know, love and hate thing. Like, okay, maybe I want to see more of this, have nothing to do with it, but at the same time, if we're in 5 seasons of Moon Knight and we are not in the MCU, I don't know where this is going to go.
Okay, no, that of course is different. At some point, yes, I do expect Mark to slap Steve Rogers in the face or something at some point. I don't know. That's the MCU interaction I'm expecting. I don't know. Steve Rogers. Who else is in there? Captain Marvel. I don't know.
Or Peter Parker at some point.
Yeah, I keep seeing the Spider-Man memes with him and Moon Knight. So I guess.
Yeah, they have some chemistry together.
Right.
Okay.
He's street level. You see him work with a lot of street level heroes. So
Marvel
exactly.
Knight. He's a Blade, Daredevil. Like he's in the realm of those people.
Oh yeah, like the supernatural. I can see them tying into that. I would like to see a Blade cameo now.
Or partners. I would love to see. I think we are starting to dabble into the more partner-esque film territory. We had Spider-Man No Way Home, Doc Strange and Spider-Man. We got Doc Strange and Wanda coming. Those are just is anybody in Thor? Thor and the Guardians.
Okay, right.
That was like the start. That was like the first one I would say that was like partnered like that. That wasn't an Avengers movie.
Right.
We saw like so many different like MCU like groups of characters.
Right. I think that's the territory we're probably gonna see him in again. It's just.
I mean, honestly, if they would have had like a post-credit scene where like he went back to London and into the museum walks Kit Harington like with his box with the ebony blade, and he's like, I need to speak to you, Mark. This thing is telling me that I gotta talk to you or whatever, you know, just something to tie in to like something like that. I would have been like, all right, that's exactly the moment I've been waiting for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's building anticipation. All this is just anticipation. I think it was purposefully done because in the past, all they ever done was let's connect this. How are we going to connect this? I think the writing team said, let's do our thing and then connect it later.
They don't even know how to connect it. They're like, okay, yeah, it's a standalone thing. Yeah.
And that should not be the end all be all. But
this word is going to get to S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're going to say, did you know there was a giant crocodile running around in Egypt sucking out souls? Yeah. Bring someone over here.
Right.
And then bam, S.H.I.E.L.D. comes in.
Yeah, just it's due time. It's due time. It'll come. It will come.
I mean,
there hasn't been a character who hasn't played into the bigger grand scheme yet, you know.
right. But
It's
I mean,
just
I don't think Moon Knight is even part of that universe. Like, to be honest with you, I really do think that it's its own separate thing. There really isn't any sort of Marvel.
you got no evidence for this.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
This is a lone train.
Listen, the producers out there, if you need me to help you write the next thing, hit me up at Darce711. I will come. Like, I'll pay for my own flight out there to come out and hang out with you guys. Like, let's do this, because I honestly, like, that Ebony Blade can go through different dimensions. It can go through time. Kit Harington would have made a great cameo in that little series.
You write it out. You send it to them. All right.
I already wrote out a script for Guardians 3 and they laughed at it, but that's okay.
Hey man, you shot for the stars. That's all you got to do. You always.
That's all that matters.
Right. All right, folks. We're going to close up shop here at the Yonkō Table. Thank you for joining us and listening to our takes on the finale in the series of Moon Knight. Hopefully we get to see Moon Knight in the future MCU projects in due time. We just got to be patient. We got a lot coming at you. Catch us tomorrow night where we'll be giving y'all our reaction to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So maybe, who knows? Maybe Moon Knight will appear in there. Who knows? But without further ado, remember, follow us on all your podcast listening stations, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We got some good stuff on there if you want more of our takes. So let us know. Go follow us there. And yeah, goodness gracious. I'm GrandMasterHoop. That's Yonkō, DrJaceAttorney, and Supernovas, Kame, Chris, and Darce. We're signing out, people. Y'all take care.
Close us out as Khonshu.
Oh, flipping dippity.
Do it. 5 seconds. Go.
Good night, everybody. And of course, look to the night sky, because I am the god of the night sky. I'm Khonshu, and will you be my fist of justice? Good night, Yonkō Table.